Ladies and gentlemen, it's a big, weird, wild world out there, folks, and here we stand. Al pie del cañón, ready for anything. I'm Rob, that's Dan, and you're listening to...
The ProBoh Show!
Good morning, everyone. Welcome on this beautiful Monday. It's 8:30 a.m. Central European Time. On this, the 20th of July. How are you doing out there? If you're here in balmy Madrid, it is currently 17 degrees outside with highs up to 36. You know, this week, Dan, apparently we're going to be facing the highest temperatures that we've seen so far this year. How are you doing, Dan?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, you're not tired?
Not yet.
Not yet. Did you? How many hours did you sleep last night?
I think 2 or 3.
Really? Oh, dude. If you're out there listening to a repeat of this program, well, you might be asking yourself, well, why is Dan so tired? Okay, get that applause ready, Dan. Seems to be that Spain has won its second World Cup, friends. Ole! And England came in third. But that's all good. How are you doing? Happy about the victory, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah, I missed all the celebrations. The last time was it 2010, the last time they won?
Yes.
The last time they won, I didn't even know the final was going on. I found myself in a bar with everyone being crazy about the football. And then trying to get home afterwards. Down Calle Alcalá, I found myself in the midst of all the World Cup celebrations. I imagine it was no different yesterday. And you, my friends, how are you doing? How do you feel about Spain's second victory on the world stage, where it comes to this sport, football? And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little while. First of all, I cast my attention to you, my wonderful audience who's joining us live this morning. If you want to join us live, if you want to have your opinion expressed via me, the conduit of your thoughts and feelings, well, you can do that on our Twitch. And you join us live here, twitch.tv/professional bohemian. twitch.tv/bohemio profesional, pero en inglés. If you want to interact with the show outside of our lifetimes, well, of course, you can always do that on my Instagram, which is @professionalbohemian. Or if you're extra especially cool, sexy, and charming, you can find me on Patreon, where you get access to a lot of original series that I've created over the years. And things like that. You can join for free if you're interested in such a thing. All right, let's see who's joining us. Dan, I imagine it's going to be a lonely show today. Hopefully I'm wrong. Well, I am wrong. I know I'm wrong because I see the chat filling up as we speak. Look at you guys. You're on fire. The Bridge is here. She says, good morning, my beautiful Bonnie Bouncy Bohemians. That is, if any of you are going to turn up. That was my fear this morning too, Bridge. She says, hello, Bouncy Bonnie Bob. Been celebrating? Can I confess, Bridge? I was supporting a Spain victory, of course. I was rallying behind the Spanish team, but I was doing it from my bed. My girlfriend watched the match, and I watched the highlights this morning. Artemisa, well, you know, my number one priority, friends, is not the football, it's you. That's my number one priority, is being here for you. That's it. Artemisa says, good morning, Rob, Dan, the radio man, and all the charming, cheerful Bohemians. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. She also says, congrats to Spain and the England football fans. Bridge says, totally brilliant victory, pese a todo. I was so happy. Yeah, me too. I kind of woke up, I think around 11, no, it must have been later than that, maybe 1 a.m. to cars honking and people cheering outside. And then I rolled over and fell asleep again immediately. But yeah, that told me, I knew Spain won practically as soon as the whistle was blown because of all the noise that was happening outside. Let's see. Mike is here. Good morning, dear Bohemians. I can't believe you're in today. Dan is a legend. Cabo Verde was the only team neither Spain nor Argentina could beat. True story, Dan. There you go. You see, it wasn't a bad sweepstake pick in the end, was it, Dan?
Well,
I mean,
guess
okay.
bad.
It was bad because you didn't win, but still. Oh, God, you know who won?
The winner?
Do you know who won the sweepstakes?
No.
Charlie the dog.
Really? Did the dog play that?
I don't think the dog played. I think its owner played. So we have sweepstakes going on in the office.
I want my money back.
I want my money back. Anyway, we can talk about that off air. Anyway, let's continue. So yeah, the owner of the dog, I think, is taking home their money. Anyway. So neither Spain nor Argentina could really do away with Cabo Verde. Yeah. Bridge says, not only because Spain won, says the Bridge, you were so happy, but not only because Spain won. Well, why else were you happy? Tell me. Morning, folks. How you doing, BTI? Welcome. Anyway, should we get into some news and things? I think we probably should. While we're talking about the World Cup, let's dig into a little bit of news around the final, not without its controversy. I'm sure you're aware. In fact, that was the first thing we said to each other, wasn't it, Dan? Did you watch the football last night? Oh yeah, did you see? Right? I mean, a bit sad, really. The behaviour witnessed on the pitch yesterday. So let's get into the Independent's assessment of yesterday evening's match. Spain versus Argentina. Ugly scenes after full time as Spain win the second World Cup in their history. España contra Argentina, or versus. Escenas desagradables tras el pitido final mientras España gana el segundo mundial de su historia. Spain have won the 2026 World Cup after defeating Argentina 1-0 in extra time in a dramatic and controversial final. I didn't watch the match, Dan, so I'm going to lean on you a little bit here. I read about 4 or 5 different articles about the match, and in almost all of them, they said the match itself was a little on the boring side, a little bit frustrating.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Yes.
Until it went into extra time, obviously, where Spain won or scored the final goal. Fernan Torres scored the decisive goal in the 106th minute, securing Spain's second World Cup title after their 2010 triumph. The match was a tense, low-quality affair for much of the game, with Argentina struggling to create chances and eventually being reduced to 10 men after Enzo Fernandez was sent off. I also read that Argentina were playing a bit of an ugly game, right? Kind of an aggressive game. Is that right?
Well, no, just a bit.
Not just a bit, quite a lot. I know quite a lot of the noise around the match was around this, what happened after the final whistle blew. We'll get to that in a moment. The celebrations were overshadowed by controversy. As tensions boiled over after the final whistle, with reports of a confrontation between players, Leandro Paredes receiving a red card after grabbing Eric Garcia. Lionel Messi's likely final World Cup appearance ended in disappointment, while Spain dominated the tournament awards, with Rodri, Pau Cubarsí and Unai Simon claiming the Golden Ball, Young Player and Golden Glove rewards, respectively. The final also sparked criticism of the poor pitch conditions, a lengthy halftime show that exceeded regulations, and Donald Trump's appearance during the final trophy. I did see a clip of Donald Trump being dragged unceremoniously off the stage while Spain were... What is it with this guy, dude? I think I won the World Cup, guys. Everyone's applauding. Jeez, get off the stage, Grandad. Oh dear. Let's see. Did you see Trump trying to sneak into the cup pictures? Yes, I did, Mike. I did. Jeez Louise. Bridge says, I didn't think I'd need to explain that. Argentina lost. Okay. That's the second reason you were happy. Yeah. So there you have it, folks. Congratulations to Spain, my adopted country. I'm very, very happy about the win, even though, I couldn't watch it because I have a lot of work to do today, not just the radio show, but after. So I thought best to be well rested. Should we get into another little bit of news? Should we do Dan's Choice today? No, actually. I think you might enjoy this one, Dan, but you might not immediately choose it. Spotify has deleted 75 million AI-generated tracks, and it's not done yet. Spotify elimina 75 millones de canciones generadas por inteligencia artificial y aún no ha terminado. Great news, right? Great news for real musicians, for real artists, well, maybe not much for the discovery of new artists, but it certainly takes a lot of competition off of the board, doesn't it? And I believe it was our beloved Vero that was tricked into supporting an artist. I can't remember the name of that artist now. But tricked into supporting an artist she later found out was AI. I think that's happened to a lot of people now. So let's dig into this news. It's from Gadget Review. Spotify has removed more than 75 million AI-generated spam tracks over the past year in a major effort to protect artist royalties and stop bad actors from exploiting the platform. The key point is that Spotify is not banning AI music altogether. It is targeting fraudulent uploads, mass-produced tracks, fake metadata, artificial streaming, unauthorized voice cloning, and other tactics designed to game recommendation systems and siphon money from legitimate musicians. In response, Spotify has introduced measures including spam detection systems, metadata standards for identifying AI-generated or AI-assisted tracks, and anti-scraping tools, and dedicated monitoring teams. I wonder how, you remember the news we did about George Lucas last week, right? How George Lucas says fighting against AI is like supporting the horse and carriage in the era of cars. I wonder how George Lucas would deal with this news. I think this is a great news, don't you, Dan? As a music lover.
Yes, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like the less AI slop there is on a platform, the more popular that platform, or at least the more genuine it is, right? I mean, I pay for Spotify. Do you have a Spotify Premium?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't want to be fighting against the endless flow of AI slop while on a platform that I'm actually paying for. Come on. At the same time, Spotify is still allowing AI music when it involves proper rights and genuine creative intent. AI-assisted mixing, authorized remixes, and commercially cleared AI-created works can still remain on the platform, but the line between creative use and low-value catalog stuffing is becoming more tightly policed. So it's not an out-and-out ban. It's simply kind of a quality control. I'll take that. I'll take that. I mean, I hear a lot of producers now are using tools like Suno to create stems for tracks. I mean, but if it's used as a tool, I don't mind. If it's used as the beginning and end point of the track, that's where I kind of take issue. Anyway, let's continue. Where were we? Oh my God. Okay. The article also notes concerns from some AI music supporters who worry that aggressive filtering and labeling could unfairly catch legitimate experimental work. Overall, the piece presents Spotify's policy as part of a growing arms race between platforms trying to preserve trust and fairness and spam operators adapting their tactics to stay ahead. I wonder how far we are away from Meta's platforms doing the same thing. In fact, isn't Spotify a Meta product? No, I may be wrong about that. But certainly, short-form video platforms need to do a similar move, right? Let's see. I foresee AI policing AI in the future. Humans will ultimately be left out of it all unless we adhere to transhumanism. That's from the Bridge, yeah. I mean, look, what better way to catch AI than with AI? I think we are quite unreliable in identifying AI now. We like to think we're a lot better at it than we are, I think. Mike says, meanwhile, Netflix said last week that they already have 300 series with AI-generated content. Yeah, I did read that. I actually have that in my list to cover later on in the week. What the hell, man? I mean, a company like Netflix that can afford paying royalties for content. Come on. Vero's with us. Good morning, beautiful bohemians around the universe and beyond. This second star is on our jerseys at last. Congrats, boys. Yeah, congrats to Spain. But now, friends, it's time to go to an unpopular opinion.
Unpopular opinion.
Okay, it's an interesting one today, a kind of a two-parter. Today and tomorrow's could be combined into one, but we've split them apart for clarity. Today's unpopular opinion is profit is a better motivator than compassion. El beneficio económico, probably not the best translation for where I'm going with profit today. Well, yeah, okay. El beneficio económico motiva más que la compasión. Profit is a better motivator than compassion. How do you think they voted on Insta, Dan?
I think that was true.
They did vote true. 83%. You said that with quite a lot of confidence. Are you a true on this one?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah, I mean, look, the evidence is clear, right? Seems to be a motivator for most people. I mean, I certainly wouldn't be here if I wasn't getting paid, right? Neither would you, Dan. But is that really the whole picture? I mean, look, profit motivates people while the reward remains attractive, right? As long as there's a reward and that reward is attractive, profit is a great motivator. Compassion motivates them even when motivates people even when there is no money, no recognition or personal benefit. It's almost like profit, or the concept of profit, asks you, what do I gain? ¿Qué gano yo? But compassion asks, what happens when I do nothing? That's why compassion often sustains the hardest as a motivator. It lasts longer. And the most important work, such as caring for others, protecting strangers, or helping someone who cannot repay you, profit can buy effort, but compassion creates commitment. Think about care workers. Think about nurses, teachers, undervalued areas of employment that people dedicate their whole lives to through compassion. Because let's face it, the economic rewards of being a nurse are quite low. And when it comes down to it, friends, who would you rather have beside you in your final moments? Would you rather have someone creating a lot of shareholder value or a nurse? Would you rather have a stockbroker or a nurse next to you? So what is the better motivator? What do we mean by better? It's going to be an interesting one today, so strap in, friends. So you're right, Dan. Most people said that profit is a better motivator than compassion. So let's dig in. Profit creates a clear and measurable incentive. Compassion is emotionally powerful, but it can be vague, inconsistent, and difficult to sustain. Profit gives people a concrete reason to solve problems, reduce waste, improve products, and reach more customers. What gets rewarded tends to get repeated. But let's be clear here. A clear incentive is not automatically a good incentive, is it? Profit can reward harmful behavior just as much as it rewards, good behavior. Doesn't it? I mean, look at the companies that pollute the environment consistently because the fines they pay are less than how much the price they'd have to pay to do things correctly and not pollute. Well, it's profitable, isn't it? I would say that's a bad. I would not consider that better. I suppose we need to define what better means. I'll leave that in your hands, friends. Profit scales more reliably than goodwill. Compassion often depends on a personal concern. emotional proximity, or a sense of moral urgency. Profit can motivate people to serve strangers they never meet, simply because doing so is economically worthwhile. That makes it capable of organizing action across vast and impersonal systems. But scale can come at the cost of the care, right? Systems built around profit can reach millions while treating each person as a transaction rather than someone with needs, dignity, and vulnerability. I mean, we all love how quick the response is from Amazon when we buy something. We all love that. But look at how Amazon employees are treated in their warehouses and fulfillment centers. Does that strike you as better? I mean, it is immensely profitable for Jeff Bezos and his friends. Profit survives emotional fatigue. People can't remain deeply compassionate about every crisis, customer, patient, or social problem indefinitely. Emotional energy runs out. A financial incentive can continue motivating effort after sympathy has faded. But look, financial incentives can also lose power once people feel secure or sufficiently rewarded. Compassion, duty, pride, and purpose can sustain people through work that money cannot make tolerable, right? Compassion. Profit encourages innovation. The possibility of financial reward motivates people to take risks, invent resources, and develop new solutions. Many useful products and services exist, not because their creators were saints, but because they saw an opportunity and pursued it. It's true, isn't it? It's true. I mean, profit often directs innovation towards what wealthy customers will buy, though, right? Rather than what society most urgently needs. I mean, do you need AI in every single search engine and every single platform that you use? Do you need it? No, but it's profitable, isn't it? Isn't it? Do you need the internet to be connected to your washing machine and your toaster? No, but it's profitable, isn't it? Let's get into the cons now, where only a few people voted con today, just 15%. Profit is not a better motivator than compassion, so let's get into it. Profit motivates the wrong outcome when money and welfare diverge. Profit motivates people to increase revenue, not necessarily improve lives. When customer well-being and financial return point in different directions, profit often rewards the option that extracts more rather than helps more. I think we see that in our day-to-day lives, don't we? We see that all over the place. I mean, you want to know the power of compassion over profit. Think about your mum and dad. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Raising a child is not a profitable endeavor. But it does require a lot of compassion, doesn't it? Compassion creates commitment beyond calculation. People motivated by compassion often continue when the work is difficult, badly paid, invisible, or unlikely to succeed. They act because the outcome matters in itself, not because the reward exceeds the cost. I mean, look, I don't want to get too extreme with my examples here, but I think World War II, Churchill's involvement in World War II was largely a moral involvement, right? Once, Poland was invaded and, I mean, it certainly wasn't a profit motive. Profit can corrupt personal judgment. In fields such as medicine, education, care, journalism, and public service, the best decision for the person being served may not be the most profitable one. When money becomes the dominant motive, trust is weakened because people begin to wonder whether advice is sincere or commercially convenient. I mean, true story. When you have an illness, do you go to a pharmaceutical company? Or do you go to a doctor? You go to a doctor, right? Interesting. Compassion notices needs that cannot pay. And we'll leave off with this one because we're running out of time. Some people who most require help are the least commercially attractive. And again, I mentioned parents, right? Children. They require the most help, or the least commercially attractive. Children, the elderly, disabled, the homeless, people in crisis. They generate little to no profit. Compassion motivates action where the market has no reason to look. What does better mean to you? What does better mean to you? That's today's unpopular opinion, friends. So we'll get into it. I'll leave you the time and space to vote. I will post a poll in the chat of the show. Profit is a better motivator than compassion. El beneficio económico motiva más que la compasión. True or false? It's an interesting one today, friends. I'm excited for your opinions. It's going to be a good week this week. I can feel it. All right. See you guys in just a few minutes. Hey guys, if you'd like to support the show, you can do so on Patreon. That's patreon.com/professional bohemian. There you'll find VODs of the episodes as they are recorded live, blogs, vlogs, and behind the scenes content. If you'd like to watch the show live, you can do so on twitch.tv/professional bohemian, and you can participate in the polls we use in the show on Instagram @professional bohemian or Twitter @ProBoh, PROBOH. Okay, on with the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. You're joining us live, 20th of July, 9 a.m. Central European Time. And of course, it is me and Dan taking you through the morning. Don't go anywhere after us, though. You've got the one and only Fitz with No Excuses coming up next. All right, the vote is still live. If you are so inclined to interact with our poll today, you can do that on twitch.tv/professional bohemian. twitch.tv/bohemio profesional. Pero en inglés, professional bohemian. Go and cast your votes. You've got 6 minutes left to opine on this. What did you miss? Well, we spoke about the World Cup, the victory, Spain's victory over Argentina to become World Cup champions for the second time. The first time, of course, back in 2010. Thanks to a goal by Fernan Torres in the 106th minute in extra time. So good for them. I'm glad. And then we looked at an interesting article about Spotify, the music streaming platform Spotify. They've deleted 75 million AI-generated tracks and promised to be more stringent in how they police the slop on their platform. Quite right. And I hope every other platform does the same, right? We don't want to pay for platforms that is offering low-quality slop. So good for Spotify for being the first, I hope, of many platforms that are eradicating slop. But as a bit of a spoiler, Mike correctly said that Netflix just came out and said, I think it was around 300, was it not, Mike, if you're still there? 300 of their shows, their series, contained AI-generated content. Wah, wah, wah. Anyway, then we moved into our unpopular opinion today, a bit of a two-parter. So we're going to start talking about this today and then continue with a different but related subject tomorrow. You're glad because of my first reason, Rob, or the second one. I have no animosity towards Argentina. I don't care. But I am very glad that Spain won. Yeah. So we're talking about profit. El beneficio económico. Profit is a better motivator than compassion. It's hard to argue with the efficacy of it, isn't it? I mean, you give a reward, you're going to get good results. But is it really that simple? I mean, parents, people who care for children, the elderly, the infirm, people who are disabled. I mean, all this is driven by a deep compassion. It's not a profit. It's not, at least not a profitable endeavor, is it? So surely there's a piece of the puzzle that's missing here, I think. Did we shift your needle at all, Dan?
In some kind of way, yes. But I don't think I will have compassion if it's something not related to me or my family.
Yeah. It's a fair point, isn't it? I mean, look. Why are we here? We're here to earn money. We exchange our time for money. And that motivates me to get out of bed every morning. I mean, it's not the only thing. Obviously, I like to do my shows, but I mean, I could do some species of the show without it necessarily being on the radio, like I used to do before the show moved here. It is a tapestry. What does better mean? Profit is a better motivator. I mean, if you're talking about better in terms of efficacy, well, yeah, it's quite an efficient motivator, but better in terms of outcome, I wouldn't say. Because profit can lead people to do harm as long as it's profitable, can't it? Is that better? Yeah, Mike just confirming here. That's right. Netflix literally admitted they have 300 series produced by AI. Huh. I think I when reading the article, I kind of came away with the idea that it was that we're using AI in elements of the production. But we'll get to that news tomorrow. I think I'll read that one tomorrow. Thank you, though, Mike. It's it's definitely an interesting one. So it's a tough one today. I mean, there's a lot of ways to take this. I mean, when I hear the word better, I have to admit my thoughts go first to efficiency, doesn't it? You the same? I think so. I mean, look, think back. It was 85% of people that said profit is a better motivator than profit is a better motivator than compassion. But then I think to my parents and the people who showed great compassion to me through no benefit, no applause, no economic reward, who took me from a somewhat dumb, thuggish young man in West Yorkshire to, a relatively good communicator on the radio. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the compassion of others. It's a tough one today. Let's dig into some of your comments. Vero here has an interesting one. Wow. I've been watching the vote here move to and fro, and I think it's settling somewhere. A little frustrating for me, but I think interesting nonetheless. Okay, the vote is now closed. Thank you guys for participating. Vero says true, profit can be a powerful motivator, no doubt, but saying it's better than compassion simplifies how humans and organizations actually behave. The real takeaway is this: profit and compassion motivate in different ways. Each excels where the other fails. Yeah, that's a really interesting insight. Because I wouldn't work 10 hours a day because I'm compassionate for the company that I'm involved in. That's for sure. So, profit does motivate me in that regard. But would I babysit my godkids? Would I adopt dogs, rescue animals, recycle? All the things we engage in on a day-to-day basis. Would we do that if it weren't for that pang of compassion that lives within us? Is the lack of compassion somewhat related to the declining birth rates in the world? Is that where it is? It's not seen as a profitable endeavor. What's in it for me? I don't know. There's lots of strings to pull on this one. That's why we're going to make it a bit of a two-parter. Interesting. Let's get into some comments. I got some really great comments on Instagram today. I'll read maybe a few more than I usually do. Marlon, I don't know how this is pronounced. Marlon Estevez says, profit gives people a clear incentive to act. Compassion often depends on whether someone feels emotionally connected to the problem. Yeah, that's what Dan was saying, and I think there is quite a lot of rationality to that. If it extends outside of your immediate sphere of compassion, like your family, your friends, perhaps colleagues. If it extends outside of that, do you really care? I mean, some do. I mean, look, if you were just purely profit motivated, you wouldn't become a nurse. You wouldn't become a teacher. You wouldn't become you wouldn't care for the elderly. You wouldn't be a carer. You wouldn't be a social worker. Let's everybody go and trade stocks on the stock exchange. How much shareholder value have you created today? Is that making a better world for you? Casey Holloway says, maybe it motivates faster. Oh, I love this. Maybe it motivates faster, but not necessarily better. Profit can reward harmful behavior too. I mean, that's the crux of it, isn't it? Profit motivates, but not always motivates in the right direction. Zoran says, compassion is powerful, but it can fade. Financial incentives are usually more consistent. Do you think a financial incentive... Yeah, Dan, do you think a financial incentive is more of a powerful motivator? Like it's more of a sustained motivator than compassion? Do you think compassion wears out faster than financial incentive?
I mean, I guess it depends on the topic. I wouldn't do something that do harm to other people for money.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Well, you wouldn't do it for compassion either, would you? But yeah, interesting. Elsie Warren says, profit gets things moving, but compassion decides whether the outcome is actually good for people. Yeah. I mean, think about all those people that speak out against hate and what they perceive to be moral failings in society. They take to the streets, try and drive change. Oh, quite often that change isn't adopted, but still they're there. They're fighting for our freedoms. And they're not doing that for any particular profit, are they? They're doing that for a better world for everyone. I mean, I'm using protesters as an example, but there are other examples you can pull. Thank you for that, Elsie. Should we do one or two more? Why the hell not? We've got a bit of time. It's about time I paid some more attention to our lovely people on Instagram. Marcel says, history seems to back that up. Profit has driven innovation and progress far more consistently than good intentions alone. Okay, question, Marcel. Does innovation necessarily make... Does innovation make profit a better motivator? I mean, it's certainly makes better innovation, but does it make... Yeah, does better necessarily mean... You know, I mean, you say innovation, and my thoughts go directly to all those checkout people in supermarkets. And I'm sorry for always drawing this example, but remember, my mum works at the checkout of a supermarket. Think about all those people who have lost their jobs to those automated checkouts. Think about that. That's innovation driven by profit. But that's going to end up being disastrous for the economy. Chelsea says, I don't think so. Some of the most important work in the world happens because people genuinely care, not because there's money in it. Yeah. Hey, Jeezy Louise. Money makes the world go round, says Michael. This is live in the chat. He says, but it only stays together because people still show a little heart whenever they can. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. I mean, most of those things that really motivate us, when we're feeling down, think about when you lack the most motivation. You're in a deep, dark hole. What is it that drags you out of it? Is it money, or is it some act of compassion? And I ask you again, what's the better motivator? Compassion or profit? You're down in a deep, dark hole quite often. And speaking as someone who's been there, I'm sure you have too. It's usually some act of compassion. A friend taking the time, or even a stranger. A chance encounter on public transport or wherever that kind of gives you a gleam of light, an act of compassion. It's a tough one today. It's a tough one today because, let's be honest, in the world as it's been created for us, it seems to be that profit is the ultimate, that shining city on a hill. It's that ultimate target, the goal. I ask you again, when you're on your deathbed, the last thing I think you'll be thinking about is how much shareholder value you created. Anyway, shall we get to the results of the poll? I think we should. Maybe we get through a whole 100 humans today without having to rush. All right, so I made the statement that profit is a better motivator than compassion. Where are we? Sorry, I'm just scrolling here. El beneficio económico motiva más que la compasión. And you guys said... 50-50 today. I think we swung that back. It was 85 in the poll as it was, and we've swung that back to a 50-50, which I think is pretty healthy place for it to be, isn't it? I mean, we can't deny the power of profit as a motivator. It'd be hard to do so. Profit is a stronger engine, I think, but compassion is probably the better steering wheel. Money can motivate people to move faster, work harder, solve problems at scale, but it cannot tell them which problems matter and what costs should never be accepted. The danger begins when we confuse motive that sustains an action with the value that justifies it. So that's how I prefer to think about it. But you know what Grandpa Bo would say about all that, right, friends? He'd say, Rob, that's just an opinion. And opinions, they're like buttholes. Everyone has one, they all stink, including mine. Let's go to today's 100 Humans. Oh my God. It was a long walk to work today across snow-capped mountains and through river valleys. And on that walk, I encountered 100 humans and I asked them all a question. Today's question was, name a way to motivate a child to learn. Nombra una forma de motivar a un niño para que aprenda. I asked them that question, they gave me their answers. I'm in possession of the top 7 answers. Your job in the audience is to identify those top 7 answers. And look who's joining us in the studio, friends. It's Mr. Fitz. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning, sir.
You watched the footy last night?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Viva España.
Yeah, Viva España.
Congratulations to Spain.
Some ugly behaviour on the pitch.
Whoa, afterwards, terrible.
Yeah.
The Argentinians. This guy, Paredes. What a disgrace.
Yeah, we spoke about it a little bit on the show. I didn't watch live. I watched the highlights this morning when I got up. Oh, yeah, disgusting to see that kind of behaviour.
You know, very bad.
I think footballers have evolved past the old Gascoigne era where you see them drugs, you know, prostitution and all that dirty behaviour, wife beating. You know, they've gotten over that reputation and you see a lot of good guys on the field.
I mean, Spain, for example, are a very good example to kids. The Spanish players are good examples. Yeah. The
English team too. And I like that. I like that that's where it's moved to.
Yeah.
So it's sad to see, you know, it falling back a little bit into those ways. Anyway, Fitz, you can kick us off today. Then we'll go to Dan. Name a way to motivate a child to learn.
It has to be something that they love. Forcing the child to do something is always a mistake. Well, they have to be forced to do some things, but something that they love and they've got to see a benefit.
So a reward, maybe.
Yeah, reward.
Well, look at that. Vero agrees with you in the chat. Is a reward there? Yes, it is, Dan. Well done. Oh, no, sorry. Fitz. It's there. 50 of 100 humans said reward. It's the number one answer. Ole. Yeah, reward is there. Recompensas, right? Is that right, Dan? Recompensas?
Yes.
Thank you. Number one answer. Well done. Also, Anna Kasan on Instagram said reward. Do you know what Carlos says? Our favourite Carlos, Dan. He says showing them the belt. Violence. It's one of those occasions where I'll say, it did me no harm.
And me neither. And me
All
neither.
right. It's not there, though, Carlos. Sorry. All right, Dan, give us your answer. What do you think? Name a way to motivate a child.
Well, my answer was the same as Fitz. So.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
What's a way to reward someone? What do you call it in English when you reward someone with words? How do you say that?
Compliment?
A compliment? Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll give it to you. Praise, I was looking for. Well done, Dan. Praise. Elogios, would you say? Elogios?
Elogios.
Praise is there. 16 of 100 humans said that. Well done, Dan, even though it was a little bit prompted. You know, Dan doesn't like it when I prompt the audience. And when I draw kind of weird conclusions from what they've said. But he minds it a little less when it's him.
Oh.
That's something we've noticed.
No, I don't.
No, he doesn't. He hates it. All right. Viva Fitz says Mike in the chat. Make them feel like it's a game, says Artemisa. That's a good one, isn't it? Make it feel like it's a game. Come on, juegos, games. Like even having games, gamifying things. Is that there? Games. Juegos. Yes, it is. Well done. It's the fourth most popular answer, with 8 of 100 humans saying games. Make them enjoy the process of learning. That's another one from Artemisa. Artemisa herself, from everything that I've seen, an amazing mum. So she would know about this. So making it fun. Hacerlo divertido. Is it there? Yes, it is. Well done. Well done. 11 of 100 humans. Elogio, Rob. You will always forget your phlegm, I know. It's not the best for my mouth, a lot of these Spanish words. And, you know, we've got sponges here we share, so I have to be careful how much I spit on them. You can come in, come on. All right, so name a way to motivate a child to learn. Make it fun, very good. Where are we? Flashcards, says Mike. Yeah, I mean, that is a very practical example, but is flashcards there? No, it's not. Pedro did identify making it fun as well. Gamifying learning. Juan Arreo on Instagram. Prizes, says Ivan GP. Ivan Samroff, reward them. A lot of people saying rewards. Raj here says encouraging them. Is encouragement there? Go on, you can do it. Encouragement. Name a way to motivate a child to learn. Nombra una forma de motivar a un niño para que aprenda. Encouragement. Encouragement. Ánimo. Yes, it is. Well done, Raj. Encouragement, or encouraging them, or your exact words. Goals. Very apt, given that Spain won the World Cup last night. Is goals there? Metas, right? Fijar metas. Setting goals. Yes, it is. Well done. All right. Okay, one more answer to get. Let me see if I can prompt you on this. Artemisa in the chat says praising effort. Praising effort. Not only. What's this? Praising effort, not only results. Yeah. But you know, life doesn't work that way. I say that's an argument I have on the show. Es una discusión que tengo siempre en el programa. That life, the world does not reward effort. It rewards results. My boss, if I si fracasaba completamente, he's not going to say, oh, good effort. You know? He wants results. Anyway, let's see if I can give you an example of this. Richard Vaughan was a good example of this. Or a good, a person like this for us, Fitz.
Yes, absolutely.
Came in early, left late.
Setting example. Leading by example.
Leading by example. Yeah. Predicar con el ejemplo. Is leading by example there? Yes, it is. Well done. All right, friends. For the first time today, or for the first time this week, rather, you have completed today's 100 humans. Oh, my God. Let's go through the list. I asked 100 humans to name a way to motivate a child to learn. Nombra una forma de motivar a un niño para que aprenda. In position number 7, we had ánimo. Animo, encouragement. 3 of 100 humans said that. In position number 6, fijar metas. Set goals. In position number 5. Oh, Dan, those 100 humans are on fire today. It's the post-Spain. They're trying to win too. is leading by example. Predicar con el ejemplo. 5 of 100 humans. In position number 4, we had games. Juegos. A popular word now, isn't it, in platforms and online platforms, is to gamify.
That's true, yeah.
I'm sure you've heard that a bunch of times.
Gamify, yeah.
In position number 3, with 11 of 100 humans, hacerlo divertido, make it fun. Congratulations to Artemisa and Pedro on Instagram, who both said that. In position number 2, we have elogios, praise, 16 of 100 humans. And finally, in position number 1, we had rewards, recompensas, 50 of 100 humans. So there we have it, folks. That's today's show. We'll have a part 2 to this where we'll dig a little deeper into the concept of greed. Do you remember, what's the movie, Fitz? Greed is good.
Wall Street,
that's right.
Gordon Gekko.
Yeah. So we'll get into a little bit more of that tomorrow, but I'm going to leave you, of course, in the very competent and capable hands of Fitz. What was your favourite moment from the football last night? We're, of course, joined by Victor as well. How are you doing?
Well, I think I'd have to say the goal, because it was getting pretty tense and it was getting late in the game.
I heard it was kind of a boring match until the goal.
Well, the thing is, Spain totally dominated. And Argentina did not have a shot until the second half of extra time. Not even a shot.
Wow.
Their goalkeeper actually kept them in the game. But it wasn't a very good game. Not Spain's fault. It was because they just dominated Argentina.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. Makes you proud as an adopted son of Spain.
Yes, sir.
So congratulations, boys. Congratulations to the whole country. Thank you very much, guys, for being with me today. I'll be back again tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central European Time. Thanks for tuning in. Of course, the number you need to improve your English, Spanish, German, French, Portuguese, whatever language you have in your mind that you want to learn. Why not trust a company with 50-year pedigree in doing that exact thing? 911335833 911335833. Speak to a Vaughan representative. Find out how we can level up your English, and we'll see you tomorrow.